All right, we'll close now with head coach Seb Hines. Seb, just initial thoughts on tonight's result.
Disappointing result, as always. Obviously tough as well when you go so long for a break. But I didn't feel like we started the game too well. I thought we allowed Seattle to get on top, in the first 15 minutes, and then we got back into the game with some really good opportunities to score. And when you have great opportunities like that, you've got to punish the team, and we didn't in the first half. And yeah, we started the second half really well, right on the front foot, everything that we asked. We made some adjustments. We changed Avaya over to the left-hand side, Castaigne to the right-hand side, asked Barbara to stay more on that left-hand side, and we get the reward with a goal. And then we let ourselves down towards the end. But there's going to be some growing pains as well. There's a lot of new players, young players as well, that are finding their feet within the league. And just told them, you don't lose the league in the first game. We have to keep building. We have to keep moving forward, and they fully understand that.
Sorry, Austin and Michael.
Seb, you kind of just brought up the young players. You gave Seven the start on the wing. Just what did you kind of see from her in the weeks leading up to this game, and how did you feel she kind of rose up to the challenge?
Yeah, she scored a couple of goals in pre-season. Last two games, I think she scored 2 goals. So she had good momentum, playing a different position as well. As everyone probably knows, at TCU she was a striker, and she's evolved the game to play as more of a winger. Versatile, playing inside, playing on the outside, and at times being up front with Barbara. And I thought she was a constant threat. To say it was her debut, you wouldn't even have recognised that. And so credit to her. And it's a tough environment, especially if you're a young player coming here. The expectations are high. The league is relentless, regardless of who you play. And so for a lot of them, they've got their feet wet, and now they have to progress in the right way. And I know they will do.
Seb, you mentioned your frustration. You created a lot of chances in this game. How much is the frustration tempered by the fact that you're happy to see that you were able to create this many chances, and with the quality of players that Barbara and Jackie and Summer, they're going to hit the net more often than not?
Yeah, I think you said everything how I feel. I think that's one of the hardest things to do. The luxury of playing on Sunday, you get to see where everyone else is at within the league. And, with Friday and Saturday's games, there wasn't a lot of chance creation, but we wanted to set a tone today. We wanted to test the keeper. We wanted to be aggressive, both in our press and attacking wise. And yeah, I think we created enough chances, and that time will come. You got to also remember, a lot of these players have been on international duty. Barbara's travelled all the way from Zambia. Not a lot of training. She is, Johnny got taken off SEI a couple of days ago as well. So we have to manage her also with that big break during halftime. And same with Avaya. She's been away with Mexico. Luana's been away with Brazil. And so when you lose key players and you've built good momentum over pre-season and you lose them, it's getting them back integrated with the rest of the team. And so, yeah, I thought they did well. Like I said, the hardest thing is to create chances. I fully believe that, after today, they'll start hitting the back of the net.
Seb, you mentioned it, but Barbara just coming back from the injury. Obviously, the goal was great, but what did you see from her overall performance today?
I think, just her constant threat, getting in those positions, threats in behind. I think in the first half, Ali Lemos plays a terrific ball, weighted perfectly. And again, it's just getting back into it. I think her touch goes a little bit too wide. I mean, she forces Dickey into a good save, but I think on another day she takes that more central, eliminates the defender and slots it away. So, like I said, one of the hardest things is to, create chances, but we're creating chances with the threats that we have, and it's just that finished part of it.
Michael?
Just curious as to your thoughts on the first half corner kick that Hoffa puts in the net. Looked like Barbara was pushed by the goalkeeper, but she gets called for the foul.
Yeah. Your curiosity is the same as mine as well. I love to hear the report on why that goal is cancelled or ruled out. It didn't seem, looking back on the video, that our players did an awful lot wrong. And yeah, I'll be interested to hear the referee's view on why she called it, even before the ball hit the back of the net. You know, why not allow VAR? I think that's the reason we have VAR, you know, so they can reflect and look back at it and see that there wasn't a foul there. But to call the whistle so early into it, like, you know, it's very bizarre for me. But yeah, I don't have an answer for it.
Awesome.
So just kind of going off of my earlier question with young players, you get Saleya and you get Reagan, who's just signed a 6-month contract and playing right back. Kind of, as you mentioned before, players playing a little bit differently than they've played in the past. How have you kind of seen their evolution from collegiate players into the level that you expect for professionals?
Yeah, we're having to ask a lot from them very early on. If you look at our injury report, we've got some really big names either away or out injured. So usually you like to ease them in at the right time, make sure that they understand their roles and responsibilities and understand the identity of the team. But where we're at right now, we're having to use them a bit earlier than we expected. But I thought their effort and their commitment was terrific. And yeah, it's probably a good thing to throw them in and see how they do and test them. And then, you know, when some of the players come back, we know that they've had that small bit of experience leading up to into the games coming up, because you know there's obviously more games, there's more travel, more challenges that present itself. So yeah, I thought they managed the whole environment pretty well. So yeah.